Hey, what's up? It's Callie from Cloud Kill here with 3 a.m. Hades. What's up, dude?
What's poppin'? How you doing?
Doing good, man. In these trying times. Glad that some artists that I'm talking to, including you, have been staying active throughout all this thing.
Yeah.
My heart and my head is with everybody else right now, especially in Los Angeles area. But I'm continuing life. Hopefully everybody else is too. And I'm starting to, again, focus on the music. And you like created your own musical environment ever since all this happened, basically.
Yeah, it's been a nothing but blessing after blessing, if I'm gonna be honest. It's been just a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that I endured in the process and the making of this, and honestly, it all paid off in the end.
That's
And
great.
now I'm in the perfect position where I want to be in. It's crazy.
You said that you created your own studio at the house. You started to make your own beats now.
Yeah. I've been
Um,
teaching myself. I started teaching started teaching myself how to use a GarageBand. And after that, I had my 90-day free trial. That shout out to Apple because of the whole pandemic, they put Logic up for a free 90-day trial. So with that, I was able to learn how to use the program and teach
wow.
myself everything. And then after that, I just a few weeks ago I bought it. So now I own
Awesome.
it.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
It's like, we've been talking through this whole thing. That's a beautiful thing. Are you serious? It's great. I'm so proud of you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Like when you're into your art and you're like digging deep into it, like you need these types of things. After a while, you realize that you can do it yourself, and the fact that you went out and just made the commitment to buy it is just going to save you so much time and so much energy and
Money is
having
good.
to work with other people where you want to have your creative process to be flowing the whole time. It's great. Like as a photographer, it was hard for me in my classes to see the students continue their work without buying the Adobe suite. And I'm just like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you maintain as being some kind of artist without your, medium? It's like being without your paintbrush if you're a painter. So
Right.
cool that you were able to figure it out and get everything going. That's awesome.
It's been one hell of a process, and now while I'm getting Logic figured out, the next step after this is going to be Pro Tools.
Oh, really? Yes. Now I'm even more proud of you.
It's going to be it. That's definitely going to be a process though, because that's I know I know Pro Tools is dominantly meant for mixing and focusing on vocals. So that's what I'm very excited to be able to learn that and become multi. Um, I can't think of the word, but just being
It's
able to use
yeah.
the programs,
It's almost like being multi-instrumental, but instead of multi-instrumental, like
multi-programmed.
yeah, just like you have it all down. The fact that you can actually go in there and really work like the processing of everything. You could put equalizers on stuff, like really, really get the sound exactly how you want it. It's awesome. I feel like all the other and I'm not bashing any other programs, but I feel all the other ones are like blankets, but like with Pro Tools, you can actually like get your hands in there. You can actually.
I was at the studio on Saturday, and I met this engineer who was there. He was on his way out, and he was telling me that he went to Full Sail, and shout out Full Sail, and he was telling me that pretty much that Pro Tools is the best program you could use, and he's saying that it's like industry standard.
It is industry standard. And also, I encourage you to look into Sweetwater. I think we talked about that before.
Mm.
Sweetwater is an excellent place where you can buy like equipment and they have some pretty good prices. Also, if you're a student, no matter what kind of student you are, you can also look up things student price. So I was fortunate enough to buy Pro Tools 10 at the time, student price, which was still like $300. It was ridiculous back then.
Isn't it 200 now?
It probably is now. Back like 6 years ago, it was definitely not, you know, and I think you can get it online now too, right? Like you can just register it, goes on your computer a lot like Adobe. So that's great. So how many songs like have you worked with or have you created since all this started?
So when I started on GarageBand, it originally just started off with me like within my first week, I was doing like 1 to 2 beats a day, and then I kind of slowed down a little bit. So I have around like 20 beats probably on GarageBand, and
Good.
then once I got to Logic, I just started working on solo shit. And since I was able to expand my ability and learn different things, and so I could make my beats sound a little bit more advanced from how I was originally sounding from before.
Hmm.
And so now I'm able to start charging other artists and people to start producing projects for them. Like I'm working on a 6-track EP right now for one of my friends. Shout out Halo.
Right on.
And yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, I got four out of the 6 done, 100%, fully mixed and mastered, and the other 2 are halfway done.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now you're learning how to create for other people then. That's like really, really good.
It's pretty cool because you're just kind of you're combining your minds in both your creatives, and it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very interesting and humbling experience.
It's a great way to network also. You know, you work with one guy, all of a sudden you're going to meet another guy and it's so on and so forth. Who knows, build up some kind of teams, build up some kind of posse, you know, go on tour. That's what I see for you guys. Like, you know, the ones that I can really consider like artists that I'm working with, which you are one of them. Um, I just always put positive energy towards, okay, this is going to be over at some point. This is only temporary. I'm getting ready to want to start throwing shows again. I want you guys to just come through and perform, and that's it. There's no pay to play. Everybody just shows up and has a good time. That's like all I really want to do. You know, when everything's starting, everybody's trying to get back on our feet again, but like actually going on tour is something that I really, really like wish for you
Yeah.
guys. Like,
That is the number one thing that I'm excited for. I really want this shit to pop off over in the eastern side of the world. You know, I'm trying to tour London. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go to UK. I'm trying to go to Europe. I'm trying to go to Russia.
yeah, Russia.
Pops
Shout out
off.
to Russia for being so cool in the scene.
Russians are cool as fuck. They're very cultured, and I fuck with every
Yeah,
single one of them out there.
yeah. I heard those kids go crazy. So, what do you think about this new law? I know they've been trying to pass laws like this before. How do you think our crowd's going to react at either the Rare House or Red Star? How we're not allowed to, what is it, mosh anymore?
Honestly,
It'll work.
all I really got to say about that is that you can't kill a lifestyle, and it's never gonna end. And I feel like at first shows probably gonna get shut down or whatever the case may be, but it's never gonna end. It's been
No.
going on for 40 years,
Yeah.
and there's no way to stop it. It's been going on since the 80s.
Yeah. Going
So
strong.
it started off with being called slam dancing with the punk scene and the thrash scene. There's no way that it's going to be able to end. There's just too much. There's too much power, too much unity um, within that category, and there's just no way. It's not going to end. We mosh till we drop till the day we die. That's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't foresee it really like ending at all. No one's going to.
With the music that has rage, with that type of music, it's that type of music, that energy, it consumes you, it takes over you, and we react to the music how it makes us feel.
And a lot of people are going to be pent up after all this going on. Maybe that's why they're trying to pass this law, because like everybody's going to want to mosh the fuck out once this song cracks off. You know, don't you like imagine going super hard at a show like during like a Jay Green set, something heavy as fuck? I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
and
But once I start doing my shows again, I'm jumping off stage and I'm throwing hands. I'm swinging in the pit.
man, that reminds me of my hardcore days. Shout out hardcore. Shout out hardcore scene.
Shout out Judiciary, one of my favorite bands. Shout out Crystal Lake.
Shout
Shout
out
out
Knock
Hot Blue.
Loose. Yeah. Shout out. Oh my God.
This is fucking hard.
Hell yeah. You know what? I miss it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I love y'all over here. I love everybody everywhere. But God damn, I just really miss shows just in general. And I think when everything starts opening up again, everyone's gonna see me everywhere again because I just miss everyone.
Yeah, and shout out City Morgue too.
Shout out City Morgue. That's fucking dope. Hell yeah. I see you got the 666 on your hat too. You know, I fucks with it.
No major.
I fucks with that shit. Shout out DJ Paul.
Juicy J, shout out Lord Infamous, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Lord Infamous. Shoot Juicy J, shout out.
Hell yeah, man. I love I got nothing but love for Project Pat, you know, all those Memphis OGs.
Man.
Even the new age Memphis OGs, Xavier, Chris.
Right. Exactly.
Even Black Smurfs from Memphis, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Like,
I got nothing but love
really
for those
fuck
guys.
with Memphis. I'm sorry.
Memphis, there's some hard ass motherfuckers that come out of Memphis.
Oh my God. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm really trying to dig also into that scene. I'm hoping to get some interviews with some really cool cats here pretty soon, just because like that scene is so fucking like righteous, dude, and it doesn't get enough exposure. And not, you know, they're like what the 3-6 call themselves. They're the most unknown. They're the most known unknown.
Almost definitely.
That's what they call it, the most unknown unknown, and that's just how it is. And let there be another little DVD out, you know, like.
Let's say that's what I'm trying to see with 3 a.m. records and 3 a.m. boys. But my initial thought, because I formed this back in 2016, and what my initial plan was, I want to be the next heaviest and biggest collective to come up through the underground. Like I'm trying to be the new Odd Future.
Right on. But like more of like the horror, like I guess, aspect of it.
Yeah, trying to bring to continue the dark, heavy shit, but also really trying to branch off and show the inspirations that I have through alternative, death metal, hardcore, thrash, punk. You know what I'm saying? And just all the different shit that I grew up listening to, and really trying to just showcase the multicultural talents that I have to when it comes to vocals, whether it's singing, screaming, or lyrical ability, like on my Eminem shit, or just
Yeah,
on
you
some
do
real
that
MC
shit good.
I also appreciate that. Thank you. Like on some just like on some real MC shit, because you start screaming for a while and people get used to that, and then you gotta remind them that I could still. I gotta let them know that I could still go toe for toe with any other artist, and whether I lose or not, I'll still give them a battle and I'll still give them a fight.
Right. You gotta stand strong, you know, you gotta stand strong for what you believe in. I encourage everybody right now, just think for yourselves. Think for yourselves,
I
'cause
stand by that. Don't live under nobody's expectations except for your own.
exactly.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to live a life caught up in doing something to please someone else where you're not even happy at all, because one day the people you're trying to please, they're going to be gone and you're going to be stuck doing something that you never wanted to do from the jump. And your life is going to be nothing but filled with a bunch of thoughts in your head of just thinking what ifs. And I refuse to be another. I refuse to die one day as just a number in society and not making a mark and not becoming someone.
Because everything you're creating right now, you know, even with me, like this little empire I'm trying to build here, like everything I'm creating right now, everything you're creating right now, everything everybody else is creating right now, if we don't make it out, if we don't push ourselves towards the future, it's gonna die with us. And
Right.
thought to me is so haunting. I have to persevere. I have to get up every single day and say, this is what I want to do. It's a lifestyle, like you're saying. It's a whole entire lifestyle.
Damn right.
And you just get up and you just do it. And that's it. Like people ask me, how'd you start Cloud Kill? How do you know these people? Woo woo, this and that. Get up and do it.
Honestly, it all just starts from an idea.
It does just start with an idea. I get up and I have ideas in the shower. I'm like, ooh, yes.
So what if I do that? And then it's crazy. And that's the beauty of it, because it's literally like you're getting to see your imagination unfold right in front of you.
It's beautiful.
It's incredible. It's kind of like it's the type of thing where like I still look and I see all my equipment here and I'm like, I'm still speechless about it. I still can't believe I have my laptop. Like it took me 6 years to get all this shit. It's insane. It's insane. Like I
And
don't
you
even know how to.
find, do you find like when you're starting to really engage in your craft, other people are more willing to help you out? Have you found
Yeah,
yet?
because no one doesn't want to work with an artist who's unmotivated or shows a lack of compassion, or then they don't really show the same interest that you're into. That's why I refuse to work with artists who aren't into it on the same level of depth of interest in creating that I'm in, that I have.
Mhm.
And it could definitely, it's a huge wrench in the creative process, and it slows things down a lot. It's just, you can tell with even just the energy when you're trying to work together, it just doesn't feel right. And it makes things just feel off. And it makes you, even though you're very motivated, it makes you feel unmotivated just because of that person's lack of energy and
Oh,
enthusiasm.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Energy and environment is everything. And that's why I said in the beginning, you created your own little musical environment because now this is your sanctuary. This is your area where, like, you're like, okay, I mean, this is your lab, you know, like you're going to work and stuff. And as long as you have a good working environment, you know, you can keep continuing your craft. You can keep going with it. And what I was gonna ask is like on a personal level, like, you know, how you were saying some people get unmotivated, some people are ready. Sometimes like you feel like you're good, you know, throughout months and months will go by, you're good, you're hyped up, blah, your energy. And then something will happen. Like for me recently, you know, everything that's going on in the world right now, like my heart and my head, you get sad, you know, and like once that happens, once things get a little tight or a little emotional or a little uneasy, it's hard to continue your craft. It's hard to get up and feel motivated, even though you were like high spirited the last 6 months, even all of a sudden you can't get up and do your craft. What do you say to people? How would you encourage people? And what do you do during that process? Because I know I'm not the only one. I'm sure
Oh,
you felt it. And when the grind stops, the money stops. So how do we keep going? What's your take on that?
and I know what you're talking about is very similar to like writer's block. And honestly, when I come up to those points, um, I sit back and don't get me wrong. Sometimes I still, even recently it just happened like in the past couple of weeks, I just felt unmotivated, and I sit there and I just go in deep in thought and I question myself and say, is this what I want to do? And eventually I snap out of it. I play video games, I do my shit, or I just listen to music, and I try to find something that just gives me that spark back. Or I watch videos of like shows from like metal shows or like other artists performing, just rappers or whatever the case may be, and
Hmm.
it puts the fuel to my fire and it gets me going again. And the next thing I know, I get back in the lab and I just start producing again, and or I start writing again, and that's how I pretty much just get out of it. So all I have to say is that if you know you want to do something and you start having your doubts, just trust the process and know that that mentality that you're feeling for the moment, it's not going to be permanent. And we all hit those
Exactly.
roadblocks, and we always manage to get over them. You just got to find your way how to.
For me personally, and it seems like for you too, like, we've broken through the clouds and we're ready to get right back on the grind. And I'm curious to what you're working on right now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's just like yeah, sometimes it just feels like things can just like you feel stuck. And I've gotten to the point where I just sat there and I looked at everything and I was like, yo, like I want to get out of my fucking day job. Like I'm tired of this shit. And like everyone around me, like literally everybody around me keeps telling me you're gonna blow up, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you're gonna be famous, this and that and everything. And sometimes like sometimes it feels like everyone believes in my own vision except for me at times.
Oh, I've had that feeling before too. Yes.
And but then I try to reevaluate myself and look at everything around me, and I try to take in those words as encouragement, and it allows me to believe in myself, and I just get right back from where I left off, and it just keeps me going again. So definitely, all I have to say is manifest in the energy of the ones who uplift you the most, and only surround
Yes.
yourself with those who encourage you and want to see you strive and prosper.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. It took me, cutting out a little bit of things, a little bit of people, a little bit of things from my life to get me up and going again. It's almost like a plant, you got dead leaves on that plant. It's just taking up the water and it's just chilling there and it just needs to come off. And then the plant goes right back to, growing again. And I think that that's.
Either that, or sometimes you just gotta end that chapter and throw out that plant, and you gotta plant some new seeds.
Mm,
Start fresh. You gotta start from scratch.
yeah.
But even in a way, even though it may be a new chapter, it's still the same story, and you can still pick up from where it left off. It'll just be in a different way, and it can be in a newer, in a better way. And it's
Definitely.
that's kind of the beauty of it, if in all honesty.
It really is. And would you say that your music reflects some of what you're saying right now? And also, where can people find your music for people who are curious about your art?
So for the meantime, all the music that I have put out is I don't own the rights to any of those beats. So for now, everything's on SoundCloud. But since I'm producing my own stuff, and I do have beats that I have bought, and for everything else, those will be on all platforms soon. But my SoundCloud is 3 a.m. space Hades HADE $. And but to answer your question before that,
Mm,
my music that I create is very much a reflection of the anger I feel thrown into more of a perspective and in a general feeling towards people in society. But I take the anger that I feel from the things I see around me or the things I see going on in the world that aggravate me, and I target a general audience to throw it out there rather than speaking towards the things that really aggravate me, which I'm actually going to start doing really soon. I'm going to get on my Rage Against the Machine shit because they're one of my biggest influences, and
dope.
I'm a very anti-political person, and I can't stand the system for shit. So I really want to be able to make some anti-political music with a lot of depth, and I'm very interested on how that's going to come out because I'm going to use a lot of powerful riffs and stuff that have a lot of soul and depth within the music itself. So I'm really excited to see where that goes.
That's gonna be great. So do you think you're gonna like kind of incorporate the metal slash hardcore, maybe even slam like
Most
vibe
definitely.
to it?
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's I grew up on pretty much multiple genres of rock before I got into rap.
Right.
So that's just like where my main focus is, because like I got into rage. I discovered rage when I was about 7, and then I really got into them when I was 9, because I had the my brother had the Battle of Los Angeles CD, so I would listen it like my whole 4th grade year. I was just bumping that whole album
Damn.
just on every day on replay. That's just by far one of my favorite albums ever. And another album I was bumping at that same time was "Decimate the Weak" by Winds of Plague.
Oh, shout out Winds of Plague over here in Upland, California, right here where I'm at. Shout out Winds of Plague.
Funny shit about Winds of Plague. My cousin actually dated the drummer for a while.
Really?
Yeah, I just found out like last year.
Shout out Michael Montoya from Winds of Plague,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Goliath, and produce Little Xan out here in
No,
Southern California.
that's fucking tight.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dope. Like he's a cool dude. I run into him when I go to NAM. I go to the NAM convention. Like I've been going for like 6 or 7 years now. I don't even remember. It's been so long. And I was wearing like right when Lil Xan was popping off, like barely before he said what he said about Tupac, and I have some problems with that. But anyways, like right before all that, I had a hoodie, and his like it was the one with like just face. It was like his whole face, and he didn't even have the tear tattoos yet. It was just a little bit of tattoos, and I was walking around NAM, and Michael Montoya saw me, and he's like, "That's Lil Xan." He's like, "I produced them," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, but you're Michael Montoya from fucking Goliath and Winds of Plague. What the fuck?" So like when people, hear the new gen and they're like, "Well, yeah, it sounds like, like they're rock or it's got this like mixed influence with it." Yeah, it's because real people and real bands are actually putting their time and effort into other artists. Not just, I know it's not just Lil Xan. I know he's helped produce like some other really cool people for the underground. So shout
Crazy.
out.
Yeah, one person who I really anticipate meeting one day is and working with. I really want to work with Travis Barker.
Oh gosh, yeah, for you that would be a dream come true for sure.
Insane. And it's funny because one of my friends, a really good friend of mine I've known since like 2015, she's actually really good friends with MGK's drummer. She's always in the
Nice.
studio with them. She's always going to like Hollywood parties with them and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
she's been around and seen a lot of a lot of famous artists and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
That's cool. That's great. So, where do you see yourself in the next year?
Within the next year,
Mm-hmm.
I see myself, if everything fucking opens up and coronavirus stops being a little puss ass bitch.
That's why I said next year.
Next year, if everything opens up next year, I see myself doing more shows. I do have a show with NASCAR LO in plots right now.
Really?
Yeah, NASCAR
Interesting. Let me
LO.
shoot you.
Oh, you fucking bet. I have that's in the works. It's under talks right now. Uh,
Okay.
Poor Punks will be on that lineup. Shout out Poor Punks, shout out Fajita and Rico Six, aka
Shout
Southmaster Six. If you see this, bro, you know what I'm talking about.
out.
um, that's gonna be underway. I might get NYCL Kai on there too. Those guys, they opened up for City Morgan. They're fucking crazy. Shout out Mickey Beloved. He's a NYCL Kai's DJ. He's a hell of a producer, DJ, and artist as well. He's a badass motherfucker.
So, so, well, what would you like to say to your fans before you sign out?
Just don't live, like I said earlier, don't live under anyone's expectations but your own. any type of mindset you have for anything that you ever want to do in your life, any goals, aspirations you have, just do it. Just stop with the what ifs, grow some fucking balls, and just get out there and do that shit, because you're in charge of your own destiny and no one can tell you anything. They can tell you, but they're not in charge of what you do,
Exactly.
because your abilities and capabilities of doing anything are limitless, and your mind is more powerful than anything. And anything that you manifest in, it will come true at the end of the day. All you got to do is just put in the work, and just don't give up on yourself, no matter how many doubts you have, no matter how much other people doubt you, or no matter what the case may be. At the end of the day, no one has you better than you have yourself. And you will strive, you will prosper, and you will exceed beyond your expectations that you had yourself from day one.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Oh, no. What are you
And don't do drugs.
Except for pot.
Smoke weed. Weed is great. I also recommend psychedelics for spiritual use, or if you just want to have fun.
It sounds like we need to have another interview so we can talk about some psychedelics and stuff. That would be cool.
Most definitely. I'm on board with that.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and coming in today and taking time out to do this awesome interview.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. I can't wait to have it out for the people, and definitely look below for links for 3 a.m. Hades, for Hades music.
Shout out 3 a.m. boys. Shout out 3 a.m. Records. We're going to be one of the next things up. Just shout out NBA, Moneybag Association. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Shout out Young. Shout out all my people that were in this shit from day one with me. And I got nothing but love for all my people, and for all the new people who I may meet down the road. I'm very excited to work with you. And if you want to tap in with me, you can reach me at my Instagram, 3 a.m. Hades, SoundCloud, 3 a.m. Hades, same thing, but with the $S. Or email me, 3amhades@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Much love.
Alex from Cloud Kill signing out here with 3 a.m. Hades.
Much love. Take care.
Fuck! God Yo, yeah, I'm not happy. Shout out motherfucking fuck. Shout out Juicy for baby. Shout out fucking Butterfly. Shout out fucking Slow for shit.